So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the IT Experts Podcast, the only podcast to help ambitious IT and tech business owners increase their sales, profit, and productivity. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the IT Experts Podcast. And today I've got an extra special guest. I've got Fisayo Olusegun. And the amazing thing when I met up with Fisayo a few months ago is that he is a copywriter, particularly for tech businesses. So welcome to the show this afternoon, Fisayo.
Thank you, Ian. I'm glad to be here.
Excellent. No, and thank you very much for your time. Now, the reason for this show is because time and time again, I am working with IT and tech businesses, and we've got the whole marketing thing, in the background, a core element of lead generation. And we connected through LinkedIn. I think you commented on one of my posts, or you liked one of my posts. I looked at your profile. I thought, hang on a minute, this looks like an interesting asset for the community to help people out. And in today's show, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sharing with you how to stop talking tech and start selling tech. All about using, the right words to resonate with our target clients in a non-technical way. That's the main reason for this podcast here today, is to give some massive value into the community and help you write better web pages, write better content, write better copy, so that you can resonate in a kind of a non-technical way. So, Fisayo, do you want to just explain kind of who you are, what you do, and who you help?
Thank you, Ian. I am Fisayo, like Ian says. I'm a tech geek by accident, because I studied psychology and social anthropology, which is humanities or human sciences, if you like. But as soon as I came out of uni, I went into a business analyst position. I went into a business analyst role, which is a pure tech role. And I went into IT because I've always loved IT, but going into uni, I just wanted a degree. And so after my degree, I knew I was always going into IT anyway. So I went into IT. I got the business analyst role my last year of uni. And then I moved to software testing. I moved into that area.
Yep.
So I learned quite a bit about the IT landscape. I did quite a few projects. And after business analysis, software testing and projects, I decided, I wanted to do something for me. And I looked inside and I thought, actually, the best thing for me to do is to become a writer and to be a copywriter, not just any writer.
Yeah.
And becoming a copywriter, I involved learning. I took a course or two on copywriting. And after I took the course, it helped give me the basics of copywriting. It helped me see why some people who IT businesses shouldn't necessarily always write their own material. A lot of it is because they're too close to the work, so they don't see it from the external perspective that you need. So you've got to see things from your customer's perspective. You've got to see what they want from the solution or from the product that you're offering. And when you see what they want from it, you'll be able to show them which part of the product offers them that relief they're looking for, offers them the solution that they want. So that's how I got into copy. That's the journey I've taken to become a copywriter. And I'm hoping today that we'll be able to shed some knowledge, shed some light on some practices that will help anyone who's listening, especially IT and tech business owners, help them with their content and help them put their material out there in ways that will draw more customers to them and draw people who need their solutions to them.
And that's a great introduction there, Fisayo, and thanks for that. And I think that, the key takeaway from me and what you've learned so far in your business journeys is that we can't do everything. We can't be all things to all men and women, and I think understanding that you can't write the best copy, understanding that you're probably not the best graphic designer, understanding that you're not going to be able to build your own website, put your own sales pages together is an interesting one for business owners to learn while they're growing their kind of tech businesses. I mean, I remember actually almost having an argument with a client once about the fact that they were telling me that they were selling SQL and JavaScript, and I said, you're not. Your prospects are buying a feeling of an automated, business system rather than just the words that are in text. So I know, we've done a bit of work together and been really pleased with the results. So Fizzy, let's just get the basics out here to start with. When we're talking about copy, what do we actually mean? What types, you talk about websites, blogs and all sorts of things like that, but where do we apply copy in the digital landscape these days?
Okay, so copy is a specific type of writing. So there's articles, general articles, opinion pieces, there's content marketing, and then there's copywriting. So copywriting has one purpose and one purpose only. And the main purpose of copywriting is to sell a specific product or service. Now, the boundaries of copywriting sort of touch on the boundaries of content writing or content marketing as well, because content is also meant to get you to a sell eventually. However, these are kind of different methods.
Yeah.
So with content marketing, you put yourself out there. It's kind of a show and tell, if you like.
Yep.
You show people how to do things. You show them how much knowledge you have about the industry. You show them how you can help them, how knowledgeable you are, or how much information you're willing to help and to give them to help themselves if they need. With copywriting, I like to call copywriting the show and sell.
Right.
So show people what the product can do for you, but you have a specific call to action that should be geared to making the reader or the listener or the viewer geared to making them buy. So with content marketing, you're developing a relationship that over time will endear the customer to you, will get the client to know, like, and trust you. And when they know, like, and trust you, they eventually become a customer. They'll recommend people to you. They'll come to you themselves. They'll know that you know your stuff. And this takes a period of time. Copywriting is a mass marketing tool that's spread to as many people as you have in your list, right? So what you have with copywriting is, if I had a list of 1,000 people, I'd send that 1,000 people the same message, and I'm just expecting maybe 1 or 2% to buy. I'm expecting a hit rate, a conversion rate of 1 or 2%, and that's usually good enough. And copywriting just rinses and repeats the same thing over again. So there's a little bit of difference. They're both targeting people, and they want people to buy eventually. They just go about it in different, and they kind of use copywriting, content creation, kind of use the same vehicle, which is writing to a large extent, but really they have different methods, even though they have the same vehicle.
It's kind of one's more about like the story and building the relationship within your content marketing and positioning yourself as an expert in what you're doing and how you're kind of approaching it. And the other is more of a direct kind of, right, this is what we're doing. This is how we can help you out. This is the call to action. This is you implementing and you taking, that next step towards commitment on the customer journey effectively, isn't it? What are some of the basic fundamental mistakes that you see people making these days when putting copy together?
Well, some of it is, okay, techies, because I'm focused on IT and tech, right? They love what they do, and that's good. But they don't focus on the buyer or see things from the buyer's perspective.
No.
So yeah, it's all well and good loving what you do, but if I want to buy that service from you, I want it for what's in it for me. The mistake they make is, like one of my friends, Chris, he worked for Samsung. And they had this new chip they were putting in the Samsung phones, and this chip was about to come out, and he wrote a post about, oh, it's got X, Y, Z, A, B, C, all this gobbledygook.
All the spec about it.
Yeah, he put all the specs on. And by the end of it, if you're not into that stuff, it's just a turn off, really. You're just like, okay, well. Even his sister Georgina basically said, congratulations, mate, but haven't the foggiest what you're on about half the time. So that's the main mistake I see. That's the main thing. That you love the stuff that you do, and yeah, we're glad because it brings out we've got so many great tools that we use these days. But you've got to take a step away and see, okay, what part of this is actually beneficial to someone who's going to use this?
Yeah.
And that's the bit you need to explain in your content. And that's the bit that you need to write about how it'll help improve their life. How there's a saying in copywriting, you sell the benefits, not the features.
Yeah.
So what a lot of people do is they harp on the features, they bang on about the features, which is great. The features are great, but those features, what they actually do is they benefit someone in some way. Mm-hmm. That benefit, that's what most people need to emphasize in their copy, in their content. And it's more selling benefits than features. Benefits over features. And that's the one mistake I see most of the time.
And this, we were talking about this morning. We were having a call with my mastermind clients, and one of them was struggling kind of with with defining his niche and going deep on his niche. I basically said to him, I said, how does it make your client feel in their heart when they buy from you? And he kind of thought I was on some kind of drugs, I think, for a minute. But I said, no, what is it? How does it make them feel? What is the end result? You know, are they going to feel safe and secure? Are they going to know that you've just got it covered and their production line's going to keep moving forwards and all the tech's going to work? And I said, but, you know, try and get into their mind. And it's exactly what you just said about making sure that, you know, you understand it from the buyer's point of view, and that they sell the benefits or talk about the benefits and not about the features. So talk to me about, so we've got an idea. Okay. Yeah. We've got an idea. We know what we want to write about. What's the process that we need to go through to make sure that we deliver a great piece of content? You know, so if we've got, let's think of something right off the hoof now. Let's talk about cybersecurity, for example. Okay. So got a brand new system. It's state of the art. I'm going to say that the features are not like anything else out there, which is why it's different. And we're going to sell it into into a fintech company sort of thing. Right. How would we approach? What would be the steps that we'd need to do in terms of making sure that we construct it correctly, and what we need to do with with the copywriting as it would be?
Brilliant. Okay, so the first thing I would do is put a structure in place for your content. So if you want to market any bit of content, you've got to have a structure that appeals to, that draws in, if you like, the perfect client, the client that this is for.
Yeah.
So first things first, you have their pain points. What's that client experiencing? So if you're going to write your content, that has to be, besides the headline, but we'll come to the headline in a bit. But when you're going to sit there thinking, when this person's reading through this bit of content, when they're listening to this audio or video, I want them to think, I know their pain. I want them to not just to think it, I want them to feel as if like I'm sitting there with them doing this day in, day out, like
on the couch, nudging them.
Exactly. So the first thing you've got to think is you've got to be able to list their pain point, spell out those pain points so that they know, okay, this person's in the know. He's holding my hand here, basically. He's saying things I experience day in, day out. That's the first thing I would put in. So when you've listed those pain points, after you've listed your pain points, you describe the perfect scenario. So after you've listed their current pain points, what copywriting trains you to do is to then describe, but wouldn't it be perfect if, like the cybersecurity example you gave, right? If all your APIs were secure, wouldn't that feel great knowing that you could just focus on your business and you wouldn't have to worry, you wouldn't have to look over your shoulder thinking someone could have hacked you or someone could have got into your system. And then the final bit is so the first step in the structure, again, is you identify their pain point, speak about the pain point. Maybe they've had breaches in the past few months. Maybe they've had they've had someone click an email, someone's been phished or something. And then you describe how it would be, what the scenario would be in the office if nothing like that ever happened to them again. And then finally, you position your product, your offering as the solution to that. So that's just a basic 3-step structure. The first thing, identify their pain point, let them know this guy really knows what I'm going through, or this person, this company, my business knows what your business is going through. And secondly, paint for them a picture of how it could be. Even use an example of how of an organization that doesn't experience this anymore. Someone who used to have these kind of problems, and they're no longer experiencing these kind of problems anymore. And then finally, you position your offering, position your product, your solution as the key to that transition, as the key that takes them from that position where they're fighting fires all around to they've gone over the fence, they're over into the good land now, and everything's sweet. So that's how to structure your content for to draw and to appeal and to compel people, to compel your perfect buyer. We talk a lot about your avatar.
Yeah.
So because it's not really about everyone, it's also about getting those who what you're selling makes sense to them, what you're offering makes sense to them. It's like there's this 3 apps on Google. One of them said flexibility training. The second one said learn to do the splits, and the third one said splits in 30 days. And one of them had 10,000 downloads, the other had 1 million, and the other had, I think, 100 million downloads, because it was focused. The one that said splits in 30 days, it basically said within 30 days we can solve the problem. We offer you a solution within a specific time-bound period. So that's what you've got to do to structure your content. You've got to have hit their pain points, and secondly, show them a picture of paradise, of what paradise is like.
Future vision, what it's going to look like in the end.
That's right. And then finally, position yourself as the solution.
And if you can build into that times where you've done it before, maybe linked to a case study, a client story, something that, then that's when kind of petrol.
That's credibility. That proves that this person really knows this process. They've done it before. They're the right person for me. Gives you massive credibility.
Now, you mentioned it a little bit a minute ago. The H word. It's all very well and good crafting copy.
Yeah.
If you can't get the email open and no one's going to read your blog, talk to me about headlines. Talk to me about how to construct the perfect headline, because this is kind of the most important part, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing you've got to do with your content is win the headline. You've got to win the battle of the headlines.
Yeah.
Because whether it's email marketing or content, because if someone types in, I don't know, I need cybersecurity into Google, Google's basically going to show them the first, a host of cybersecurity responses, like a host of cybersecurity articles that respond to that topic of I need cybersecurity. And the way Google's going to do that, or the way that emails are going, whichever marketing channel you choose, the way they do it is they rank these based on the ones that answer the issue firstly succinctly, because you've only got a limited number of characters. So you've got to really hit the pain point, but you've got to do it in a way that has certain elements to it. So it's got to have, the information in your headline has to be useful. It has to be unique. It has to have a sense of urgency, not urgency in terms of, it's just a sense of urgency in the way that it makes you want to click. So it's got to give you the feeling like, oh, this one really knows why I'm going through, type of thing. And finally, with the sense of urgency, it's got to be specific. You've got to really nail that topic. You've got to have the specifics. Well, your answer has to be closely tied to the search query as possible. So those are the 4 things that your headline needs to do to win the bat for the headline. So you need to have usefulness. So the information, is it useful in response to the search query? And then secondly, is it unique? Well, does it answer the search query in a way that no one else does? And does it give that sense of urgency? Like, does this person really have the goods? And finally, is it specific enough? Is it niched enough, if you like, so that it answers my question totally?
Yeah, when we're talking about search terms, and I know this could go on for quite some while, so we'll try and do this as quickly as we can. How do people find out what people are searching for to get onto their website, or what they're searching for in their particular industry sector?
Okay, so now Google Trends is one of those where you've got to be on Google Trends. You've got to look at what's trending in Google Trends, and I think it's trends.google.com. And if you have an idea or a search query, you go on trends.google.com, you put that in, and it'll tell you what the search, well, not what the search volume is, but how many people have been, what the ebbs and flows,
right,
of the search volume over a period of time. And it will also give you similar terms that people are looking for. So maybe people aren't looking for the exact search term you put into Google, but what Trends will do is it will show you terms that are kind of like the search term that you looked for. So that's one way. There are also keyword tools, but I don't generally favor keyword tools because they're only one tiny part of SEO.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know, SEO is a whole nother podcast, isn't it? I guess the Google Trends has been quite interesting if you're putting out topical blogs and topical pieces around what's going on in the news, isn't it? So you can easily see kind of what's going on in terms of like current affairs. And if someone's big a few weeks ago, EasyJet got hacked.
Google Trends helps you to position yourself rightly to take advantage of what people are searching for. And the only way to find out what people are searching for is when there's a big event like what you mentioned and everyone's interested in, am I safe as well? Or everyone wants to know basically like this can't happen to them. Your article be perfectly positioned.
Yeah. Drop it in.
That.
Fizzy, talk to me about how Google actually can analyze your blog or your copy, and therefore then rank it higher in terms of like usefulness and relevance.
So there's certain things Google looks for. There's expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. The trust you build over a long period of time. So that's just about being consistent. The authoritativeness is in your writing style. It's in how you actually structure your content. And we've talked a bit about that before. But the expertise is the bit where everyone can really make a difference. So with expertise, this has to do with length of article to a certain extent,
right?
Because if you have an article that's 500-600 words, it doesn't really show that you know so much on the topic because there's only so much you can fit into 500-600 words. But to really demonstrate expertise, you have stats in your article, you have a chart maybe in your article, you have lots of different formats of content within the article that will push your article to at minimum 1,000 words. So a study that was done in the top ranking articles on Google showed that the most articles that got to the first page of Google were no less than 1,000 words.
Right.
So it shows you the expertise bit. That's what most IT and tech people can do right now. You can put that expertise out there, put as much as you know out there to really boost your Google rankings. The authoritativeness that has to do with writing style, you can improve your writing style as you learn more, and the trust you build over a period of being more consistent with your content marketing. So as you put articles, knowledge-based articles out there, you win trust. You get, it's kind of like trust.
No, that's really useful. Thanks for covering that bit off. And now it's time for the Innovator Success Quickfire Round. Okay, question one. So if you were to bottle one part of your business journey, so the one thing that would actually make you a multi-millionaire, what would that be?
It's the skill of copywriting itself. Copywriting sells itself. It's great in good times, and it's even better when things get rough. For example, during this period of COVID and all that, I've been the busiest I've ever been as a copywriter.
Brilliant.
I tell you no lie. So copywriting itself, when I say it sells itself, one thing you've got to look at is I put an article, or one thing I have I refer to when I say that, is I put an article out on LinkedIn after I'd done my marketing to gain new followers and all that. Not followers, connections.
Yep.
Twitter is the one that's got followers. So after I've got new connections, I decided how am I going to best maximize the return on the effort I've put into marketing. And it struck me, well, copywriting is about selling, isn't it? So why don't you use copywriting to sell the services themselves? So I thought, okay, so what am I going to do? I thought, most people don't know. So obviously what you do is you give something free. You give something away for free. So most people don't know that headlines are the make or break of any copy.
Yeah.
Headlines. You might have the best information in your article. You might have written the best blog piece ever. And if you go and put a tacky headline on it, no one reads it. No one doesn't go.
Get opened, it's wasted.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought I put a piece on LinkedIn saying, this is why your headlines are important. And I outlined all these things, outlined how people basically, they respond to headlines, and that's your make or break. And a lot of people responded to that. And I offered to do a free headline for anyone who wanted to take up the offer in the first week of July, not June, the first week of June. We're not in July yet. So I got 2 people to take that up. And the first person who took that up, within 1 week of taking it up, they'd given me 3 paying gigs. 3 different paying gigs. Brilliant. The second person who's taken it up, I'm currently on project with, and we're working on a project, and she's already accepted my pricing, and we're good. So that's that's the brilliance of copywriting. It sells itself, and that I don't know of anything else like copywriting. So if there's one bit of skill that I'd bottle and sell, it's copywriting.
How to write copy. Excellent. I wouldn't kind of expect you to say anything else, but anyway. Question 2: what's your biggest learning and regret in business over the last few years?
You can't do it all alone.
Okay, that's good.
All by yourself.
Like that one. Yeah.
It's quick and easy. It may be corny to some people, but the hard-headed always have to feel it to believe it, right? So I did it last year, tried by myself, got to the point where you can't do the marketing and do the work at the same time. While you're doing the work, if the marketing is not happening, a couple of weeks later, you have no more work because no marketing's been going. You can't do it all. You've got to delegate, get people in that you trust, build a team around you, and
get in a community of like-minded people. That's
right. That's right.
Okay, and question 3: what's your favorite app on your phone and why?
Now, this is going to be a generic one. It's LinkedIn.
That's a bit boring.
Well, the reason is because I don't have a website. I don't have anything else. I do social media marketing. Last year I had a website, but social media has been the single source of all my copywriting clients, bar none. So it's the most important app on my phone. Yeah. And as a copywriter, I couldn't bear it if I couldn't stay in tune with my marketing pipeline while I'm on the go. So,
and I think that's really important, because that just breaks it so simple. This is that you don't need a website, a massive great funnel. You just need a process, and you just need a system on how you're going to do it. And if that's LinkedIn, then use LinkedIn. If it's any of the other digital marketing outlets out there, then do that. But just keep it simple, keep it relevant.
That's right.
It's about, I think you might have mentioned it earlier on, people buy people. They'll be buying from you. Yeah. You're on LinkedIn, they see your profile, they kind of go through that, and it's kind of makes it straightforward from there. So that's good. Excellent. Well, look, Fizzy, that was really great content there, which is good. Not written, but in the word. Thanks ever so much for your time this afternoon. I know that the listeners are going to get great value out of this, because it is something that guys are struggling with. It is something that, the techies amongst us are, I put a blog out there and no one rang me, it doesn't quite work like that. So what I would encourage you all to do is go back and re-listen to this episode again, write down, get your plan together. Do you just want to spend a couple of minutes and just kind of let us know how we can get in contact with you if people want to have a chat with you, and just see if you might be able to help them out at all?
Yeah, certainly. I'm on LinkedIn. My name is the long version of my name is Fisayo. It's Fisayo Olusegun. And just look for me on LinkedIn. Send me a message. I accept all invitations. I'm not one of those who say, "Well, why is it that you want to connect with me?
Why do you want to connect with me?"
Yeah. I'm happy to connect with everyone on LinkedIn. And again, like we said before, it keeps it simple. Everything's in one pot for me. So just look me up on LinkedIn and let's help each other.
Excellent stuff. And you've always got different types of kind of lead magnets or different types of offers going on, haven't you, to try and help people understand just the kind of the first small step, whether it be a headline or whether it be a writing guide or things like that. There's always stuff going on. So check his profile out. We'll put a link to Fizzy's profile into the show notes as well, so you can have a look around on there.
Brilliant.
That's brilliant. Well, thanks once again. I wish you every success with your business. Look after yourself, keep safe, and we're going to catch up soon. Take care now. I'll see you soon. All the best.
Bye.
So thanks very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, then please remember to subscribe, rate and review. I'd really appreciate that. And also check the show notes out for all the latest developments at the IT Experts Growth Academy. If we haven't already, then let's connect on LinkedIn, YouTube and over at our website at innovatetosuccess.com. Until next time, you look after yourself and I'll catch up with you soon.